Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Ashlyn, and today I'm going to be doing a story time of how I ran away from home and moved to North Carolina. So, just gonna keep everything short and simple today. Like I said, if you're new here, hey, I'm Ashlyn. I have a 9-month-old little baby. I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Right now, I'm living in North Carolina, me, my fiance, and our child, Grayson. And yeah, this is just my channel of just showing my life. I don't know, I come up with stuff all the time of what to do, but I just thought this would be fun just to show my journey as a first-time mom. This is Grayson right here. He is crazy. But yeah, so yeah, go ahead and like this video, turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video, subscribe, and yeah, let's get started. Me and my fiance are from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but oh, he just hit me with the brush. Me and my fiance are from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and he's 1 year older than me, so my senior year would have been, like, he had already graduated. He graduated a year before me. So he had a football scholarship to a school up here in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina. So he came up here, and I would come and visit from time to time and all that stuff. And I just knew one, I love to travel, and two, I loved coming up here and just like being able to do my own thing. Not necessarily do my own thing, but like not have anybody tell me what to do, even if it was just for 2 days. I was just, and like, I don't know, it just felt like so good to be away from Alabama for one. And like, I would just enjoy just going to the store and just like experiencing what real life would be like once we were living together and all this stuff. So he was in North Carolina, I was in Alabama. We did long distance. Skip. He came home for maybe a year. Well, not home, but Montgomery, which is like 2 hours away. And then decided to move back to North Carolina at a different school. So by this time, I'm out of school, obviously, but I'm working and just whatever, just living life. Not really, but I would still come to visit, and just, you know, we would make way with our long distance. He's gonna sit here and laugh at me the whole time. But yeah, so I feel like this is gonna be all over the place, but that's how my life is. It's all over the place. So sorry, I'm trying to fix this. But yeah, so we always talked about, from time to time, just talked about where we wanted to live, because like I've said before, we've always known that we were serious about each other. We wanted a family together. We wanted to get married, all this stuff. So we would talk about it. I don't know if this is the angle change, whatever. So we always knew that, yeah, we were gonna get married, have a family together, and all this stuff. The thing was, where were we gonna do it at? So he knew for a fact that he did not want to come back to Tuscaloosa. He would come back. I think he would come back for the summer, and he was just like miserable the whole time. So he knew he didn't want to be in Tuscaloosa. And I thought that I wanted to be in Tuscaloosa at the time, and this was like a year or two maybe before I moved, because I'm a huge family person, so I couldn't imagine not living at home with my family. I keep looking over here because he's staring at me, but yeah, I just couldn't imagine living away from them. So time passed, we're still talking about like where we're gonna live, but we kept talking about where we were gonna live and what, like, a timeline and all this stuff. So of course I would still keep coming to visit, And I was just so much happier in North Carolina than I was in Alabama. So that's one thing that started to make me think, like, where is my next move? Like, where do I want to be? We're still talking about where all this stuff. So December 28th of 2018, yeah, he proposed to me. Cute little ring. But yeah, so we were like, okay, things getting real serious. We didn't really, at the time, we didn't really want a long engagement. We wanted to hurry up and just get the process going, because we just didn't see a point in a long engagement, which we have been engaged for a long time, but that's not the point. But at the time, we didn't see a point in a long engagement. So that was on Christmas break, yeah. So he came back up here to North Carolina, and I stayed. And then I know I went up. February was our anniversary. So I came up here, and I would have to, like, find people to meet halfway to meet me, for him to meet, and like us to get together, whatever. So I came up here for Valentine's Day and our anniversary, and we had like a heart to heart, like, what's our next move? It's really hard planning a wedding so far away, in which I know people do it, but of course we're very young, and it's just hard to have. He's doing school, he's in school all day, I'm working all day, so it's just really hard doing it when you're not together, and like planning for a life together when you're 8 hours away. It's very hard. So also back in my little world, I was very, 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 and I cannot stress this enough, very depressed. And I was depressed. I mean, I've always had depression, but I've always, I guess, feel like I've kind of somewhat had it under control. Like, it never had been as bad as it was around this time. And I think it started January, maybe. I think January. And it really got bad February, March. And it was to the point where I just, you know, thought very bad things. I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't want to talk to anybody about my problems. So, yeah, it was a very, very, very dark time for me. That's why I'm actually just now doing the story time and speaking out about it, because it's been very hard. It's been very hard and a touchy subject for not only me, but people and on, like, just different parts of family and stuff. That's why I'm just now making a video about it. So, yeah, I didn't really have anybody to talk to. I would talk to my dad, actually. And, because I would just, it's very, like, I love my mom to death, and she's going to be watching this, and we already know how each other feels. But, it's very hard to talk about something like that with her, just because she loves hard, and she, of course, no mom wants to hear their kid talking about moving so far away and all this stuff. So it wasn't really easy to talk to her about, because, you know, we had talked about me moving up here. So I just would talk to my dad about it and about how I would feel. So he knew that I was sad, but not how sad I was. So, and then another thing, that's why when I would come up here, it would just be such a relief, and I was just so happy up here. And then I would go home, and just on the way home, just head pounding, just because I know what I'm gonna feel like when I get back. So yeah, it was really, really hard. Yeah, so me and Keyshawn really had a heart-to-heart in February, and just like, what's the next move? Are you coming or not? Like, we need to know. There's no point in wasting each other's time if somebody doesn't plan on making a move. And we were just at a very tough place as well. So I went back. I was only up here for, I think, 4 days maybe, or maybe 3. I don't know. It wasn't long. But So I went back to Tuscaloosa, and we hardly talked. All we did was, and if we were talking, we were arguing. And yeah, so we weren't in a good place at all. I think maybe in January I had made a decision that I did actually really want to move to North Carolina, just because of how I was feeling and how depressed I was in Alabama. And other feelings I was feeling is I just felt stuck. All I did was go to work, come home, and that was it. Yeah, I didn't go out with friends. I just never wanted to do anything. I wasn't motivated to do anything. I would go to work, come home, shower, stay in my room. Like, it was that bad. I didn't really care for life, like, at all. I just went to work. I enjoyed being at work because I did work with people I enjoyed being with. So, but yeah, I really didn't want to be there, and I knew that I didn't, but I couldn't tell my family because they just thought I was crazy and just thought I was just talking out of my butt. But I would talk to my friends. Like, my dad thought it was a good idea. He knew that Tuscaloosa is a very small town, if you don't know, which some people probably only know it from, like, the University of Alabama and the football team and stuff like that. But it's a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. And, like, you don't really do much there. There's nothing to do. And you're not motivated to do anything. I knew if I stayed there, I wasn't gonna get far. I just knew it. So my dad, he was like, yeah, I think it's a good idea. You have more opportunities. Just get out of your comfort zone, move away from home, just experience something new. You've been in Tuscaloosa your entire life, and you've never experienced anything but Tuscaloosa and the same people you know. Just experience something. So, and then my friends would tell me the same thing. So I'm like, okay, in January I made the decision, like, I'm gonna move, but I don't know how. I don't know how to leave my mom. My mom won't talk to me about it. She won't agree with me on it. So how? So, yeah, in fact, that was just like a skip back, and now skip back forward. Yeah, so from February to March, we weren't really talking. We were arguing because just the distance and not knowing what we were doing next. So, I would always tell everyone if I was going to move, which I knew I was, and I would tell them, I know I'm going to move, but once I do it, it's just going to be a thing of me coming to visit and never coming back. And so leading up to that, I told everybody, all my family, friends, that, so me and Keyshawn were, like, really close to, like, calling quits. And he was like, we were both like, we've put way too much into this relationship. We've been through so much. There's no way we're ending it like this. Like, you come up here and we try to figure something out. Like, let's figure out what we're gonna do. So, what are you doing, baby? Like, you come up here, we'll figure it out and just see what we're gonna do with our relationship. So I was talking to my people at work and all this stuff because I wouldn't have a ride to meet him. Cause he had school. So, yeah, he wouldn't have been able to travel all the way down. My mom worked, sister, I think she worked that day. Like, I was asking friends, everybody, like, who can take me up here. And, he's about to do the same thing. So, yeah, nobody could really do it. And usually it was my dad that brought me halfway, but I think this week he was working or something, or he wouldn't have had the car to do it. So, I was talking to my boss and the people at my work, at my job, and, they were just like, I still wasn't sure. I knew that this trip was going to be like, if we were to continue our relationship or just not. So everybody, they were like, you're going to go up there and you need to stay. Like, y'all need to fix this and all this stuff. And I feel like they could tell how upset I was and how much I had changed. And that's why they did this. And this is why I do truly feel like everything happens for a reason. Everything is in God's timing. My boss had planned a trip with her friends to Greenville, South Carolina. So I was like, that's kind of weird. Like the exact weekend that I'm wanting to go up, you are going up halfway, and like that's perfect. So she was like, okay, but the only way I will take you to meet him is if you're staying. She was like, you need to do this. It's just how it has to be. So you're gonna stay or what? And I was like, okay, like I'll do it, which I still was not 100% sure, but I was gonna tell her just so I could have just my way. So I put in my 2 weeks, and yeah, I just told my mom I was going up for a few days. We were just hanging out. And yeah, so I packed up as much stuff as I could, just because I knew if I was gonna stay, it wasn't gonna be pretty in any way, shape, or form. So March 21st, I think, was my last day at work, and I went home with my boss. And then the next day we left and came to South Carolina, and that's where Keyshawn met us, which my mom was at work, so she didn't know how much I had brought, and she didn't know how long I was staying and what my intentions were. So I was up here for a few days, and we had worked everything out, like, and I just felt a relief. I feel like it was just like I knew I had made the right decision, because I wasn't sad anymore. I was happy and just ready for like a new life. And so I told myself, I was like we talked about it together, and I was like, if I fill out job applications and someone calls me back, then I'll stay. But if not, then it's not in God's plan for me to stay, and then we'll just be done, and I'll just go back to freaking sad old Tuscaloosa. So I think 3 people ended up calling me back, and I was like, okay, so I meant to stay. So my mom would text me, and like she didn't think nothing of it the first few days, but then I think it was Monday, and I worked Monday through Friday, and she was like, okay, things are getting weird, like when are you coming back? And I was like, I don't really know, I'm just enjoying some time away, like my boss knows, it's all good. And she didn't think anything of it. Then it had been like a good bit, and she was like what's really up? And I was like, I don't really remember how I told her, but I was like, I don't really plan on coming back. Like, I'm happy here. I was so sad there, and I just feel like I've made the right decision, and I hope you can forgive me. And oh, keep in mind, I was still staying at home. I was still living with my mom. I didn't say that, but so yeah, she was very, 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 very angry. She cut my phone off. So Keyshawn went and got us a plan together. She did not talk to me for a long time. I think right before my 20th birthday, the day before my 20th birthday is when she texted me. I would try reaching out. I remember we came down to whoa, wait, never mind. I found out, okay, so I moved up March 23rd. No, March 22nd. And conceived a child on March 23rd. So, I don't think I found out. We came down, I think, twice. Once or twice. And I texted her and I was like, can we talk in person? I need to get more stuff, like the rest of my stuff, like whatever, all this stuff. And she didn't really want to see me. So I had to wait till she was going to work to go and get my stuff. And all that jazz. And like I said, it was a long time ago. I'm 21 now, so it's been a whole year. I don't know. It's been a while. So it is kind of still kind of touchy, but not as touchy as it was. And if you know me, you know, like, my mom's my best friend. So her not talking to me, her being mad at me, I felt like she hated me. But, yeah, so we went down. She didn't want to see me, all this stuff. She reached out to me the day before my 20th birthday. And we went to Tuscaloosa, I think the 23rd, a few days after my birthday. And I stayed over there with them. And it was like, I mean, nothing was different. It was like nothing had changed, all this stuff. She was really happy I was back, all this stuff. And then we came back up the 28th, and that's when I found out I was pregnant. So all of it started to just feel right. And like, God wouldn't have gave me us a baby, if we weren't supposed to make the move we made, or I wasn't supposed to make the move I made. Like, our biggest blessing came from one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. So it just all made it feel right. And if you haven't, I don't think I've done my pregnancy story on this channel, but I do have a family channel. It will be linked down below. I do have a lot of videos of that story, which is also a crazy story. I hid my pregnancy Grayson's gassy, apparently. I hid my pregnancy from my family for like 15 weeks, I think. But yeah, I think that's on my other channel. But if it's not, comment down below and I'll do a video over here about my pregnancy story. So, yeah, I know. And before anybody says anything about my mom, one, I don't play about my mom, so let's just not say anything. I understand where she was coming from. It's hard. Now that I have a kid, I know it's hard that your kid's gonna leave. But, yeah, I got to the point where I wanted to put myself first. For so long, I've never put myself first, and I knew it was what I wanted. I knew I made the right decision as soon as I got up here, and everything that led after that just made me realize that it was the right decision. And I know she still wants me home and all that jazz, but yeah, I just knew it was the right thing, and I knew what it was I didn't know how hard it was gonna be to do what I did, and I knew that I was gonna have to leave and not come back. Just like I told everyone, I just knew how it was gonna go. I didn't know how bad it was gonna be after, like, the aftermath. But now it's just like nothing is different. We're still as close as we were before. And like I said, of course she wants us home, especially now that we have Grayson. But we're just happy with life right now, and we'll just let time do its thing, and just wherever we are next, we are. But I think that it's basically all of how I ran away from home and moved to North Carolina. It's been, like I said, over a year, and we're still in North Carolina. I would like to shed a little light on, if you are, just live for yourself. Don't live to please everyone else. Do what you feel is right. Do what makes you happy, because mental health is so important. Talk to somebody. Talk to anybody. Like, there's so many people you can talk to. Don't ever think that you have no one, and get to the point where there's no looking back, or could be no looking back. That's just so important. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was all over the place, and I'm so sorry, but my head's all over the place. We're moving, and it's so much going on. I just think about so much content I have coming out for y'all, and also thinking about how to keep this story and mention everything. And yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down videos you would like to see from me, and if you like this story time, because it was my first story time, and also it came from a really hard place in my life. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Follow all my socials down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. I probably already said that. Subscribe to my channel, turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. Follow all of my socials, they'll be down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.